What's up, Internet? We are here rocking out to our old pal 401 Real Game by CoolBoy. And I believe we are on page 12 now, all the way down past all these other games we've already seen, with Gyro Dingay, which I'm pretty sure is Gyrodyne. I'm not super familiar with this. I know it's a shmup with a helicopter. And if you hold the button down, it sort of rapid fires, but it's not all that impressive. If you mash the two buttons together, you get kind of a homing rocket, but it's not the most interesting game ever. I'm not sure how far we're going to get in this game, because I'm not the most adept at these kind of games. But fortunately, I do have the magical power of a turbo button, so we might get a little further than we thought. Yeah, you can fire those missiles, but they're so slow and crap. But you need them to hit these ground targets. And that's everything I know about Gyrodyne. Shoot the cars, because reasons. They don't pose any threat whatsoever, but do it anyway. Those appear to be holes and people standing next to them. Oh, and stuff spawns again after you kill it. That's awesome. But, shmups. This is very, very bland. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a very early shmup for the system. But that's it. I've seen some very early shmups for the system that were actually good. Like, Super Xevious wasn't too bad, and like Super Star Soldier was really good. I'm pretty sure stuff like Guardian Legend was pretty early as well, and that game was tremendous. But this game, not as much. And we died again. Game over. Back to Gyro Dingay. No thanks. So next up, we have Mag Max. I know this game. This is a neat little game I've been trying to get my hands on for a little while. It's a shooter, but it also incorporates some neat transformation gimmicks, as we'll see as we go. But basically, you start as like this little spaceship flying around, shooting stuff. And eventually you'll find something like this, and suddenly you've got a little bit of a bigger spaceship, and you can do extra stuff with it, and it's kind of neat. Now we got a killer laser drill thing, and you can go in here, and then you get to go to an underground level. So it's like every area has two levels to it, and that's kind of neat. I already have that part. Give me a part I don't have, game. Like that. And now I've got a robot. Oh yeah, see? You're not just a spaceship anymore. Now you're a killer robot, and it's awesome. And somehow you fall down to the top of the earth. Unfortunately, now we've lost our legs and our robot, so now we're a spaceship again. And such is Mag Max. It's not the most complex game ever, but it's a fun little concept. I quite like that idea. I don't think this is really a rare or particularly wanted game either. I think it's a pretty common game that just not a lot of people have much of an interest in. It's kind of a shame because this game, you know, it's not great, but it's interesting enough, and it plays well enough that it might be good for a play session or two. No, I want the robot. Yeah, I got the robot. I got the tummy laser. Hooray for tummy lasers. Now we're in the more cheery upper world again. And, you know, it doesn't really get much different than this, but, you know, maybe it doesn't need to. It's a good game. Maybe not great, but good. And I've played a lot less interesting games that feel about as early as this, that do a lot less and do it a lot less well. This game at least feels like it's trying to do something, you know? I keep wanting to think those things are like the robot legs, because they look kind of like it. Those are robot legs. I want my robot pants. Give me my robot pants. I lost my robot pants. Sad. Oh. And I mean, it's not the most visually interesting game ever, but I don't think it's trying to be. I think it's trying to be a fun little arcade shooter, and it does that pretty well. All things considered. There's not really anything that's particularly offensive about this game. I'm going underground for a little while. It's kind of neat that the perspective shifts a little bit as well, because you sort of get like that three-quarter view on top of the world, whereas this one is pure side-scrolling. Oh no! We're running out of Mag Maxes. How will Robo Mel Gibson get on with his day without Mag Maxes? Oh no, I can't take the tummy laser because I don't have a tummy on my spaceship. Oh no. So disappointing. So there's actually like a strategy to how you have to build your robot as well. Although it seems largely randomized. Still, pretty fun game. I might have to review this sometime soon. But this is a lot better than Gyrodyne for sure. Whoa. Oh no. We're on the last Mag Max. These things look kind of like cars that turn to puddles. Robot! Tummy laser, go! Now we just need the robot pants. Oh no! Well, now we need the robot and the tummy laser again. Holy crap, a dragon. I didn't think this game actually had bosses. I thought this was like, well, I don't know. I was gonna say Xevious, but I'm pretty sure Xevious has bosses. I'm just not good enough to ever see them. I'm actually impressed. Good show, Mag Max. You've impressed me. Aww. Still, that was a lot of fun. There's an ocean! Holy crap, I'm learning things about Mag Max. Awesome. Okay, next we have Bwing, which is, of course, Bwings! I reviewed this game. This is a fun game. Now, of course, you've got a metric crap ton of different weapons that all act differently. And we're going to take the hammer, because with the hammer, you can disappear and throw it away because you can't remember how to play this properly. Yeah, see, that's the problem, is there's a button to eject your power-up, and of course, you know, it's always the one you inadvertently press first. The nice thing is you kind of have like this duck feature that can be used to avoid attacks when you don't have a weapon. But I'd rather have the hammer, please. Because the hammer is an awesome ability. It is by far the best weapon in this game. But, sort of like Mag Max, this is a very simple game, but... Oh my god, I am crap. Oh, I did it again. Wow, I am inept at everything. Okay. But, as you can tell, the hit detection's a little weird, but this is a pretty fun game. It's simple, but it relies mostly on its multitude of weapons, even though there's one that's just objectively better than the rest, and that is, of course, the hammer. If I get to respawn and select a weapon, I will show you why. Provided I don't just jettison it immediately like a spaz. Oh no. Hooray. Okay, so let's try this again. Now we're going to pick the hammer, because with the hammer, they can't touch this, because it's a shield, and also a rapid shot. When you have rapid buttons, but it's basically just firing wrecking balls plus shield. And with the hammer, you're basically untouchable. It is just objectively the best ability in this game. It is like the beat the game power-up. There's actually some really good music in the background as well, not that we're able to really hear it over these sound effects, and also the fact that the Retron is terrible with audio. I really need to get like an NES and a functional Genesis and Super Nintendo, so I don't have to rely on this piece of garbage anymore. Oh, music changed, so now we're fighting a boss. Also missiles. So we gotta get serious now. Serious face. Activate. And like the regular bits of the environment, basically you just hammer the glowy bits with your shots and eventually they disappear. What's neat is it's a giant robot with a shield, not unlike Magmax, viewed from top down. Or that one boss from Star Fox 64. I really am reminded of that one robot with no legs from Star Fox 64 that kind of went crazy. And all HAL 9000 and whatever. Man, I gotta play some Star Fox 64 again. But that's level 1 of this game. Let's see if we can beat level 2. But yeah, basically the core concept is shoot the thing. Similar to Gradius and Twinbee and Space War and every other shmup ever. The thing in this game just happens to be glowy and rainbowy. So it's real clear what you need to shoot. There's no ambiguity whatsoever. I mean, that's good. It's easy to pick up and play if you don't understand Japanese, because I don't think this game was ever brought to North American shores. At least on the NES. I know it was an arcade game at one point, where I'm positive it looked better. Although that said, I know the NES Gradius didn't look far off from the original. It was mostly just an audio difference thing. And speaking of that, I knew someone who had a modified Famicom cart of Gradius that actually had the proper... oh crap. Had the proper Gradius sound effects and visuals and stuff. And it wasn't much of a difference, but it was still pretty interesting to see. But that is a largely unofficial product. And we don't have the hammer anymore, so we might be screwed. Now, the nice thing is we still have the hammer shield, but even if we run into another weapon, the moment we use that weapon, I'm pretty sure we do lose that shield. And now we have to do some, like, slaloming nonsense. Not unlike that ski game Slalom, which also featured slaloming. It's an S! Oh, we got a wide shot. Yeah, see, we lost the hammer ability. And all the weapons are pretty useful, but it's just that one is basically better than the rest by a wide margin. I mean, you've got one that shoots like little hearts, I think. That's not unlike this weapon. In fact, most of the weapons are kind of like a wide shot like this that just don't do a lot of damage. And of course, now we don't have a power-up, which is a problem. So, we can dive under things, but we only get so many uses of that. And, well, once you lose power-ups in games like this, you're pretty much over. Case in point, we ended that game. On a death. Not that I'm surprised by that. Next up, we have Pro Wrestling. Uh-oh. Well, it's got like a neat cinematic feel, I guess. I don't know anything about wrestling, but... What? Ow. Oh, my cat's eating cat food, so enjoy the loud crunching sound in the background that you're probably actually not hearing. What? I don't really get what's going on. I mean, I'm basically just button mashing and stuff is kind of happening. I remember there was like this one... What? Oh, I hit him with a chair. That's kind of cool, actually. But I'm reminded a lot of what is it? A sumo game on the Famicom. And it was a game where you basically just had to randomly mash buttons until something happened, and it kind of worked in your favor. Oh, I can tag in. Okay. But the actual fighting is basically just button mashing and hoping for the best, and that's not really good at all. That said, I'm hardly an expert on wrestling games, or wrestling in general. I don't think I've ever really properly played a wrestling game. I've been wanting to get a couple of wrestling games on the Super Nintendo. There was one that was like some kind of like anime women wrestling game that looked kind of neat, and then there was like, hey, the Strong Bads one. Now go read some emails, damn it. I actually have a DVD of all the Strong Bad emails. It's awesome. Official product, too. We'll do it one more time. But that and Stardust Suplex are like the two wrestling games I wouldn't mind getting. Just because they look interesting. Okay, so I hit him. Why did I get knocked out of the ring? It doesn't seem like there's all that much, I don't know, logic to this. It's just sort of random stuff happens when you press buttons sometimes, maybe, possibly. Okay, now I hop back in the ring. I was in the ring earlier, though. Does this count against me or for me? I got a game over. Huh. I'm learning about wrestling. Let's try that again. Slam. Is that an actual audio clip? It's weird how, like, the ref just sort of disappears. Did my teammate just rescue me? What? Give me a few more frames of animation or something. I mean, I get you're an early game, but come on. I like the giant grin on the ref's face while he's counting, though. Whoom. Like, he's so happy. His face is literally half his, or his mouth is literally half his face. Oh no, I don't want to go down. No! Aww. It's all a scam, people. It's all a show. It's not actually an event. If you think this is an actual thing, well, you're just wrong. It's stupid. Ugh. And finally we get Wreckin', which is Wrecking Crew, which was one of those weird Mario games that doesn't really feel like a Mario game at all. Now, if I recall, this game had something like 98 levels. And there's just an incredible number of levels in this game. It was also the origin of the gold hammer that you recognize from Smash. But your goal is to basically break everything. But this is also a puzzle game in the sense that you can trap yourself if you don't do things in a proper order. Which is why you gotta do things in proper order. Oh, and fireballs come and attack you out of nowhere for reasons. Because of course they do. Because video games. I think in the Mario mythos this was just after Donkey Kong. Like Jumpman went to his day job as a construction worker that Donkey Kong somehow destroyed or something. And there's eggplant people, which make life worse. Because Kid Icarus was a thing. Why is it always eggplants? Like, Adventure Island had eggplant problems as well. Although that's in the actual lore of Meijin Takahashi as well. He just never liked eggplants. Which, to be fair, I mean, it's a vegetable that's purple. Something's going on with it. It's suspicious. Boop, boop, boop. And we actually want to go this way, I think. And I think we actually already screwed this up. Yeah, we did. Because we can't go back up because there's no ladders. So all we can do is accept our defeat graciously at the hands of a purple wrench, because reasons. Okay, let's try this again. I know what I need to do. I'm hardly an expert at puzzle games, but I understand what I need to do. Go over here, and we break these ones now. Now, the nice thing is, while you can't really do anything about the enemies themselves, if you're smart, you can trap them in those barrels, those orange cans up there, as well as, well, like you can kind of see here, I'd like to stop, but a fireball will kill me. You can get them in a situation where they just can't do anything, and it's kind of awesome. But this is basically just your sort of standard design for a great puzzle game. It's a very simple concept that just doesn't really do anything wrong, and that's good. Now, I don't think we can do anything about those green girders. Oh, yes we can. We go boop, and then we get knocked all the way down to the bottom. Now the problem is we have got to deal with those wrenches. And if I had not fallen off the ladder like that, I would have been able to. And now we gotta deal with the fireball because fireballs! Oh, that's not fair. Oh, that's not fair at all. I can do better. Come on, game. Let's try again. Let's try this time. Going. Boop! Huh. I thought that would have actually taken them out. Well, this is less than ideal. Okay. Well, their AI isn't too bright. Oh, that's a problem, though. I don't think they can change direction once they're going, though. Which is good to take a mental note of. And climb all the way to the top this time. Again, try not to get murdered by the fireball because video games. And now we're down here again. Like, we could sit here and try and hammer them down, but it just seems easier to try and get a bit of an... Oh no. Okay, well we got them going in this direction, which means we can get around them now. Like, we could just try and hammer these walls down, but they'll probably catch up to us before we do anything. Whoop. Although, if we get them started, knock this wall down, and wait for them for style points, we should be able to do this. Alright. Hey, bonus stage. We gotta find a coin. And that other character, I believe, is Foreman Spike. He hangs around the background, will knock you off platforms, and just make your life a living hell. Although, ironically, despite the fact he's an enemy, you actually have to use that fact to your advantage in some levels. Oh god. Okay, that was scary. Yeah, this isn't a bad little puzzle game for sure. And I think this was one of the earliest NES carts you could get. And it was one of those ones that was actually a Famicom cart in an NES shell. And you could actually use that to your advantage and basically create a Famicom NES converter out of it. Which is pretty neat. There was a few that were like that, and not all of them did that. The only one I can think of that absolutely was like that was that Rob game. What was it? Gyromite. The one with like the little spinny tops. That one was absolutely one of those. I think we've already screwed this up though. Whoop. Oh, no, maybe not. I think we might have, yeah. Because we have to knock that door down somewhere where we can hit it, and it's just not there. Alas, I think we're done. I choose Fireball. So, looking back on the 5 games we played today, Gyro Dingue, or Gyrodyne, was not all that exciting. Mag Max was a solid game, a very simple game, but a solid one. Same with Bwings. Pro Wrestling, I don't understand to begin with. And Wrecking Crew, it's a puzzle game. It's not really a game for me, but there's quite a lot of clever ingenuity with it, and I think it's overall a really good game. So looking back, out of these past 5, I would say 3 are worth it. Mag Max, Bwing, and Wrecking Crew. And I gotta say, those past 5 have made this cartridge worth it. But I'll see you next time when we take a look at Spartan. I think I know what that one is, actually, so that'll be exciting. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.